We're going to bring back, as you saw before, the old traditions of tailgating and a full-day experience. This is what our fans want, and this is what everybody loves to experience. While we appreciate the proposal by the City of Minneapolis and the efforts of Hennepin County over the last several months, we believe we have selected the ideal site here in Arden Hills for a new stadium in Minnesota. The vision the team and the county have creates a Vikings destination in Arden Hills, a day-long NFL experience for family and friends. That made the day out at the game something that I'll always remember, and the experiences that I had with my family, that all families have had here when they refer back to the Metropolitan Stadium as something very special to them as they grew up and brought them closer to the Minnesota Vikings and especially closer to their families. In addition to a retractable roof stadium, which we feel is an important aspect of this stadium, something that all the fans that we have heard from wish to have as part of the experience, is very important. And as I stated before, the proposal that we envision here calls for 21,000 parking spaces so that we can not only have a football day experience in terms of tailgating, open lawns where we can throw the football around, areas in which we can provide outdoor barbecues, and we will learn and we will take from the best experiences throughout the country, the best that they have to offer, plus whatever new things that we can provide. And I think that's going to make us the state-of-the-art facility that the most important fact would be to make sure that we have a home for generations to come that serves the fans and the people of Minnesota in the best fashion. We feel bringing back the tailgate experience is a very, very important part of that experience. Also, the ability to be able to smoothly move from the Metrodome and come to here without missing a beat, so to say, was very important from a competitive standpoint, and we feel that it will be building up towards making our team better without any disruption. So to answer your question more specifically, the most important aspect of our evaluation of this site was what was best for our football, what was the team, what was best for our fans, and what was best for the long-term solution for the Vikings.
We got about 3 more years at the downtown, then we're going to start all over again out here. That'll be my second stadium that I've opened here. But I go back a little further than that because I was raised in Superior, I lived in Forest Lake, I lived in Roseville. I used to hitchhike by here all the time, and during the war, World War II, and I know that they made, and I've been told this, 50% of all the 50 caliber machine gun cartridges were made right here for World War II. This is a historic place, and it's almost like fate has saved this for the Vikings, and we're going to take advantage of it and bring on Green Bay.
Fans to come up to me and ask me, you know, what's going to happen with the stadium. I had a person who's close to me a little bit earlier in the week. What's going to happen with the stadium? What's going to happen with the Vikings? And you know, I always said the same thing over and over. I know that our ownership, Zygi and Mark and the Wilf family, they're going to do the right thing. And there's no question in my mind with what has happened and what is transpiring today, the right thing has been done. This is a great day for all Minnesota Vikings fans. Whether you're in the state of Minnesota, and we have many across this country, this is a terrific day. It gets me excited, gets our players across the country excited, I mean, it's exactly what you want, because you know from a coaching standpoint, it allows us to remain competitive with our peers. And that's extremely important in our business. And it gets me excited. You know, we're in the midst of a lockout right now, and this is one of those moments where it brings you back to football.
I think it's very possible and very doable. You know, I mean, it's also possible that it won't. I mean, you know, these are new developments, and I haven't seen the entire pro forma in terms of what the total cost of the project would be, and then, of course, what share the Vikings would have to commit to make up the difference between the $300 million that the state would be able to commit at best, and whatever the Ramsey County share is, $195 million. So that differential then would have to be picked up by the Vikings, and I didn't press on that point in the conversation. I assume they're well aware of that, but they didn't present their final numbers, and so, you know, again, I think it's very readily accomplished because the legislation calls for the $300 million state share. It calls for it to be repaid, those bonds, with non-general revenue to users of the stadium. So I think that's the right design for the state's participation. If the other pieces can be successfully put in place, then I think it's a very viable project.